Words are magic. They can make us laugh or cry. They can start wars or bring peace. Language is what makes us human. It's how we share our thoughts and feelings. It's how we pass on knowledge. It's the glue that holds our society together. Language isn't just about talking. Books, poems, and songs tell stories. Even sign language communicates. Language is always changing. New words pop up all the time. The way we speak today is different. Language is alive, and we're all part of its story. Let's take a trip back in time. Way back, before smartphones, before books, before even writing, early humans didn't have words like we do. They used grunts, gestures, and facial expressions to communicate. It wasn't fancy, but it worked. Imagine you're an early human. You see a dangerous animal. You want to warn your friends. What do? You might point and make a scared face. You might imitate the animal's sound. This is how language began, simple sounds and actions with meaning. Over time, these sounds became more complex. Humans started using different noises to mean different things. A grunt might mean food. A different grunt might mean danger. This was the start of vocabulary, the start of words. But words alone aren't enough. We needed grammar too. Grammar is like the rules of a game. It tells us how to put words together so they make sense. Early humans figured out that changing the order of sounds could change the meaning. This was a big step. It allowed for more complex ideas to be shared. As humans spread across the globe, so did language. Different groups developed their own ways of speaking. This is how we ended up with thousands of languages. Each one unique, shaped by the people who spoke it and where they lived. Think about it like this. A group living in the mountains might have lots of words for different types of rocks. A group by the sea might have many words for fish. The environment shaped the language. The needs of the people shaped the language. But languages didn't just stay put. As people traveled and traded, languages mixed. Words from one language would pop up in another. This is how languages grow and change. It's like adding new ingredients to a recipe. The result is something new and exciting. And sometimes languages split, like branches on a tree. Latin, for example, split into French, Spanish, Italian, and more. These are called the Romance languages. They're different, but you can still see their common roots. It's like a family tree, but for words. Section 4, Mixing and Mingling, How Languages Evolve. Languages are like living things. They grow, change, and sometimes even die. One big way languages change is through contact with other languages. This happens when people from different cultures meet and trade. Let's look at English. It's a mix of many languages. Old English came from Germanic tribes, then the Vikings added Norse words. The Norman conquest brought French influence. Later, words came from Latin, Greek, and many other languages. English is like a big language stew. Trade routes played a big role in language evolution. The Silk Road, for example, wasn't just for goods. It was also a highway for words. Arabic, Persian, and Chinese words traveled along it. They popped up in new places, enriching local languages. Migration is another key factor. When people move to new places, they bring their language with them. Sometimes this creates new dialects or even new languages. Pidgins and Creoles are examples of this. They form when speakers of different languages need to communicate quickly. Section 5, The English Adventure, A Language's Journey. English had quite the adventure. It started as the language of a small island. Now it's spoken all over the world. How did this happen? Let's take a look at its journey. Old English, the earliest form, was very different from what we speak today. It had more in common with German. Then came the Norman conquest in 1066. French became the language of the nobles. English picked up lots of French words during this time. The Renaissance brought another change. Scholars started using more Latin and Greek words. This added lots of long, fancy words to English. But English kept its simple, strong core too. This mix of simple and complex is part of what makes English special. Then came the age of exploration. English spread to new continents. It picked up words from Native American languages, from Hindi, from African languages. Each place added its own flavor to the language. This is why English has so many synonyms. It's borrowed words from all over. Technology and language. Technology is changing language faster than ever before. Think about words like selfie or LOL. Now they're used all over the world. The internet has made it easier for new words to spread. We try to fit our thoughts into short messages. Emojis are like a new form of language. Language will keep evolving. It's how we connect, how we understand each other.